My name is Michael Green. I live on East Terrace Avenue in the city of Fresno in Fresno County. I'd like to thank your board for taking more time and attention to this matter. But my first statement is a question because there's been some procedural changes as this has evolved. Last go around was in September and October, and at that time it was going to be adopted by the board and then punted over for a companion bill to the Planning Commission, and at that time it was found to be CEQA exempt. I'm having my problems getting my head around how this is even being noticed today, and I've covered government for a while, so if I'm confused, I guarantee that some of these people in the audience are confused too. As I understand it right now from reading the Planning Commission agenda for this Thursday, the ordinance is set to come up for a final vote before this board in February. So what we're here on the agenda today possibly is just for the adoption of the negative declaration, and then a hearing before the Planning Commission on Thursday, and then we're coming back. And in my comments on the negative declaration, on the initial study, I note that normally you would bring the whole text amendment before the Planning Commission. You wouldn't do it piecemeal, as was done in September and October. So out of fairness, I believe, to myself and those others who are assembled here to give you salient comments on what this ordinance means, we would like to know if you're taking a final vote on the ordinance today, or if in fact the Planning Commission agenda is correct, that you are bringing this back to the board February 25th. And we are just here today to speak on the adoption of the initial study. And I can't comment in 2 minutes on everything that's messed up with that, but it is. And I've given you 15 fun pages of reading on that, and I don't know if anybody's read it, but there are some legal arguments and deficiencies in the initial study as it pertains to the proposed action. And forget the legalistic stuff. What you are proposing is no less than an utter repeal of Proposition 215 and SB 420 by taking away any and all safe access to marijuana, whether through dispensaries, whether through cultivation. The last time you were up here, you were talking about sending people to Walgreens for pills. There's a lack of understanding, and I believe this latest is just evidence that we don't even have fair notice of what you think you're doing. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Actually, I'd like to comment on that. Your form here, it would be helpful if we had your telephone number so that a member of a representative from Fresno County can talk about the procedural questions that you've raised. And lastly, County Clerk, or Madam Clerk, we received an email, and I believe it was from this gentleman. I'd like to be able to incorporate that into the record as having been received. My office received it. I'm assuming it went to others as well.
Yes, it was received in the clerk's #BOS email box, and I distributed to the board, and it is part of the record. Every item that came through by email and sent to the clerk's office is part of the record.
All right, if I can pass this over so Mr. Green can fill out the form and we can make contact.
That's completely up to Mr. Green. He doesn't.
Unless you want to make comment with.
Well, I can respond to the issue of the different ordinances that are that either are or will be before your board. There is an ordinance before your board that amends the ordinance code, the Fresno County Ordinance Code. There is also another change to the Fresno County zoning ordinance that by law follows a separate track. It goes to the Planning Commission. The ordinance code does not go to the Planning Commission. It comes to you, and that zoning ordinance will go to the Planning Commission on Thursday, and I will look to county staff to see when it is due to come to the board. I'm not sure if it's February the 25th or not. February, okay, so it will be before your board on February the 25th.
But you're satisfied in your opinion this meeting and this item has been properly noticed?
Yes.
Thank you. Next speaker, Tracy or